In part one, we left off with Eligio Bishop bending over, busting it open as a stripper named Tyson, and also playing doctor with Dean Willoughby, a criminal fraudster that was paying homeless men $50 to do an anal exam and inject them with vitamins. We're going to talk about Bishop's HD Cuts, the place that Eligio Bishop won't stop talking about, the pinnacle of his success. And he's also going to admit to you guys that he didn't pay for it. That's why that I actually am using this very old interview. I mean, this is before carbonation. This is like melanation days or the Ethereans or whatever they call themselves. And he's playing up to the Canadian media because this was also the Kayla Reid days when they acted like he kidnapped that white girl. And that's why that I've held on, so tight to this issue, is the fact that I feel like he's gotten away with it because of his minority victims. When he had a white girl, he put her on the first thing smoking, believe that. So I just can't look away. I feel powerless. And I want to show you guys that this dude never really worked a hard day in his life. He lived off of women like Maisha there. That's his ex-wife, the mother of his son Osiris. And he beat her up so bad that he fled Babylon. Wasn't necessarily a choice on his part. And if I'm going to put her out there, I'll put me out there too. That's me. The last time I ever got hit. It's a very dated picture, as you can see with the Ed Hardy shirt I have on. I'm not throwing up a set. There's bruises all over my arms that I'm showing you. But I laugh to keep from crying. And I'm sure many of you have too. And there is a plot twist, of course, to this story. And it is the fact that Eligio Bishop is trapped in the closet. Oh, that really isn't a surprise to any of us. But nevertheless, maybe that he was trapped in the closet with Micheal Joseph Brown, PhD specifically, the president of Payne University, the author of The Lord's Prayer Through North African Eyes, and also The Blackening of the Bible. So I believe that he, at the very least, is the knowledge, possibly even the brains behind the operation are being blackmailed, considering that Micheal Joseph Brown is part of this whole spiritual community, was, public speaking, and actually got caught sending Eligio Bishop $8,000 to $10,000 amounts for donations, So fuck him too, for fueling this energy vampire and this pyramid scheme that Eligio Bishop has going on. I'm really just trying to fill in the blanks for you guys to show that he never worked a hard day in his life. He never earned anything. Everything that Eligio has ever had has been through some sort of manipulation of someone else. And that's why that he hates women so much, is that he used them for everything that he could, and men on the side in the shadows. And when women, for instance, had children with him, that they kept custody of the children, he had to pay child support. He was constantly cheating and beating them up. So he ran off and made melanation. And that's where the story will actually end, is when melanation begins. As it is, in fact, a backstory. But I think, one of the deepest ones that you'll see of Eligio Bishop.
I got locked up for doing a number of armed rob. Well, yeah, I did. I think I might have did that when I was young. Sure. I was very young when I did this time in prison. But I like the fact that I went to prison young because I didn't get to go to high school. So I didn't get the programming everybody else got. You know what I'm saying? The programming and the social setting of Babylon. I didn't get that. From 14 to 19, I tried to kill myself in prison. And so they put me in a psych ward. And in the psych ward, I wasn't on no medication, but I got to see people that had psychological issues. And I started studying the mind and wanting to understand what was going on with the mind and why. And I started realizing a lot of things. And all of my experiences led me to do more of the research. At the age of 19, 20, I was released completely. When I was released in the streets, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I was trying to basically survive in this world where I didn't even know how to order anything from a restaurant. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about Babylon, society. So I had to get some quick learnings about this. And I learned how to basically survive and work a job here and work a job there. And I didn't like that. The idea of me working for you for $10 or $20 an hour, I didn't like the limitation part. I'm working for you for 8 hours for $20 an hour. So I was always in that mind state. Age of 19, 20, I was released completely. When I was released in the streets, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I was trying to basically survive in this world where I didn't even know how to order anything from a restaurant. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about Babylon, society. So I had to get some quick learnings about this. And I learned how to basically survive and work a job here and work a job there. And I didn't like that. The idea of me working for you for $10 or $20 an hour, I didn't like the limitation part. I'm working for you for 8 hours. Went straight into, from modeling to stripping. It was either sell drugs to make some money the way I wanted to make it, because I wanted my freedom. For me, my freedom meant more to me than anything. So whatever I had to do to get my freedom, I was on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hustler. Mm-hmm. But I just wasn't going to do nothing illegal, because I knew I was never going back to jail.
Rules.
I did it all, man. I partied, went all over the world. I flew all over the world, being an exotic entertainer. Had all the women, had all the money, all of that, until it didn't satisfy me anymore. None of that stuff really satisfied me. The only thing that I ever really truly wanted to was to find and be my greatest self. And so what happened was, I transferred this shallow life that I was living as this beautiful man, as the sex symbol. And then I transferred that over into a skill that I had, which was barber. And I was like, how can I not do this and still make the money that I'm making? So I figured I'll take this money that I have and go to school. And I got my barber's license. Got my barber's license, and other people were like, oh, what barbershop I'm going to work at? Me, I was always thinking, what do you mean barbershop you're going to work at? I'm about to have my own barbershop. So what I did was I made a little space in my little apartment that I had, and I knew that, I was living in Atlanta, and I knew, and I looked at my marketing as far as who was I going to cut hair for. And I said, who gets their hair cut the most? Well, gay people, homosexual men. I marketed them because they care about their looks more than anybody, and they pay big bucks for it. And gay people, they like the way I look, so I would flirt with them. So it didn't matter. I would, I used that to my advantage as well. Of course, I was just an entertainer, so I would use my looks as my advantage anyway. I said my barbershop is going to be called Bishop's HD Cuts. I've always had a vast imagination, and I know that if I could think about it and I talk about it and I obsess about it, and everything that I did was talk about Bishop's HD Cuts, man. No matter what you were talking to me about, I would kind of turn the conversation into Bishop's HD Cuts. I was so obsessed with the barbershop. I could feel it. I seen myself. I would go to the local hotels. Atlanta is a big hub for visiting. So I would go to the hotels. I got a barber license. I could cut your hair right here. I was a mobile barber. It doesn't matter. I could cut your hair right now. Do you know what a barbershop when you come to Atlanta? No, you don't. I sit down, have a drink, talk to some guys. Yo, I'm a barber. Need your haircut while you're here because you're going to go out this weekend. I made a killing off of that right there. And then what happened is the hotel concierge, I would give them my business card and pay them a percentage to everybody that they recommend. So what happened was I wound up being very successful as a mobile barber, meeting all kind of people. I actually went on a Monique show, cut hair for her, and I started cutting hair for celebrities. It just went there. I was always good at marketing and dreaming, but I'm always talking about Bishop AC. I have business cards. You would never know that I was living in this little apartment. I got it within 8 months. I got a barbershop. Somebody just gave me $25,000 because I was so enthusiastic about it. I was always talking about it. And they was like, won't you just open up a barbershop? I was like, yeah, well, I don't have the finances right now, but I'm going to have it. Randomly just says, man, I didn't ask you if you had the money.
Dr. Brown is an internationally recognized biblical scholar, minister, and public intellectual. He received a Bachelor of Arts degree from Vanderbilt University, a Master of Divinity degree, and Doctor of Philosophy degree from University of Chicago. Prior to joining Payne, Dr. Brown served as Associate Dean of Wabash College and was the director of the Malcolm X Institute on Black Studies, 2011 through 2013. Dr. Brown has authored 4 books: What They Don't Tell You, A Survivor's Guide to Academic Biblical Studies, Blackening of the Bible, The Aims of African American Biblical Scholarship, The Lord's Prayer Through North African Eyes, A Window into Early Christianity, and The Lord's Prayer and God's Vision for the World, Finding Your Purpose Through Prayer. In addition, he was a leading contributor to the New Interpreter's Dictionary of the Bible. So in essence, he is the knowledge.
Get me a business plan. I said, what do you mean? Get me a business plan. I said, wow, are you serious? Guess what? One of my other clients was a business administrator. He made my business plan for me. My other client made my logo for me. And then the other client found the location for me. All of what I needed was right in front of me. I just used all my resources, and I was so excited about it. It manifested so quick. I was dreaming about it. People would, my current girlfriend was trying to argue with me, and I would just be like, yeah, but the barbershop, I'm like, what about the barbershop? You're not even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been someone that could imagine myself into something, My barbershop was so good that other barbershops near me was asking to sell their shops to me, and go in with me 50-50. And so the neighborhood, I would buy the salons because women run the neighborhood. People don't know that. If you're going in the community, you got to show love to the females because they run the community. People don't realize that because they have the kids. And so because I was cool with the salons, they would tell the mothers to bring their kids to me. It was just like, it was I strategized that, and to the point where everybody's coming to my barbershop, and then I had a chess set in there, and I would tell everybody like, if you could beat me in chess, I'll give you a free haircut. Of course, nobody beat me. I'm really good at playing chess. So people would come just to hear me speak because I've always been someone that was speaking knowledge and information, and people would, I made good relationships with people in the high places. I could very well have been the guy that took over the whole town and had a franchise of barbershops, and you just been successful in that way. But that wasn't good enough for me. I've always been a spiritual seeker. And so I met people that I could intellectually speak with. We would meet up for dinner and have just these arguments and discussions. And that is what sparked me. I was like, you know what? And I would go back the dynamic of the group I was dealing with my barbershop. And it was just like, this is not the same thing. And so for me, I got an RV. Yeah, me. I got an RV. Young black guy, little family. I said, I'm going to get an RV. Now, they don't give these RVs away very cheap. So basically, I had to find an RV spot where, you make a down payment and they would trust you on that down payment. So I traveled all the way to Alabama, got an RV. And mind you, I'm this black kid from the hood pulling up in an RV in the hood. And everybody's like, yo, what's that? They never seen this, but I inspired all of them. They were like, yo, I'm like, you got a dream, man. You got to see past all of this. This is all good, but, you got to see past all of this. And I've helped them open up their minds and show them that they could be way more than what they're doing. Then I took that RV and my current situation with the woman I was with and her children, and I've always had this deep connection with nature. So I just wanted to travel the coast of Florida. I traveled the whole coast of Florida, stayed at all the RV parks, and here I am pulling up in my RV. It's nothing but elder white people out there, that retired in their fishing boats and stuff. Like, yo, this is when I knew I was different. Like, I'm a young black family living in an RV, and they're like, what is it? And I'm running my barbershop, actually, and I'm, at the same time. And I got a chance to get in touch with nature and be out in the middle of the woods and be close to it and understand it. And, man, Florida was beautiful. Just the coast, I just got to be out there in nature. And I knew that right then I belong closer to nature. But Florida got so many bugs, mosquitoes. When I left, my barbershop started to fall apart because I was leading it. They needed me to inspire them all the time. They had to keep that inspiration and start to fall off. And so, it started to crumble away slowly. And so I had to come back. So I descended back to my lower self. One thing I learned about Babylon is if you're going to be in Babylon, you're going to have to be all the way in Babylon. So I went all the way back into Babylon. I become the barbershop, become the community. And so I went and I made that barbershop. I built a stage in the barbershop and opened up an open mic for the kids to come in the community and come in and, have a voice. I put a tattoo artist in the back. I had, natural hair girl. We did shampoos with our cuts, $7 Tuesdays. I got it all back running. You can use your card now. And I put all of this in it, and then boom. At that point, I was basically coming into a more awakening state, where I had the biggest house on the block in my neighborhood in Rex. I just stopped working in the barbershop. I just couldn't be around the conversations and the ignorance no more. I started separating myself from it. Coming out of Florida, coming back to that, it gave me a headache after a while. I've separated myself. I got a shop manager, and my house is right up the block. So this is where it happened. This is where my spiritual awakening happened. I got that freedom, and I gave somebody my barber chair. The manager would come to me, knock on my door on a Saturday, give me the booth rent. I'm right up the block if anything you need me. So it was running. I was just right down the block now. I was getting really heavy into spirituality to the point where my dreams scared me into spirituality, to the point where basically I was scared to fall asleep. And I wanted to make my dreams right, because if I knew I had to fall asleep eventually. So when I did fall asleep, I wanted to make sure that I went to a happy place. One night, I'm trying not to fall asleep. I'm up all night, scared to fall asleep, obviously, seeing these dark beings and stuff like that, and things chasing me and all of those things that were stuck in my subconscious. So as I studied what dreams realms was, I started to understand, like, wait a minute, this is my subconscious. This is only me. Like, I know this stuff. I can control this. So basically, I reprogrammed my subconscious mind. If it wasn't positive, I did not put it in my mind. Positive affirmations at night. So if I'm going to go to sleep, it's some positivity that's playing throughout my ears. So that's my subconscious. It'll help assist me in going to a nice place when I do go into a place. And it worked. It completely worked. And so what I realized is that the cleaner I ate, the less beings I seen. I went to higher places. It was more beautiful places. I was falling asleep, and another set of eyes opened. It's the only thing I could say. I know I was laying in the bed, but another set of eyes opened, and basically I was standing up in another realm. It was like more real than this realm, and I was slipping into different realities. I was in a hospital bed. Then I was in another realm where I was balled up into a ball, and everything was upside down. This is when everything started, because I just knew, stop taking showers. Stop taking showers. Just stop taking showers. Stop taking showers. That was when it all started. I started eating just fruit. I started arguing with vegans. Like, listen, we can't eat plants. I just knew things. I knew things. I started studying what America was, what money was, breaking my reality down to a molecule, all alchemizing, looking around me saying, damn, this stuff is made from wood. This stuff is made from metal. What is plastic made from? Plastic is made from oil. Okay, we got oil, wood, and metal. They all come from the earth. Why don't we live more eco-friendly? Then I'll just start going into, becoming more peaceful with who I am. I didn't want to no longer be a part of anything that was destroying anything else, whether that was a person or a plant, because I knew that all of life, I just had this vast respect for life. And that point, everything starts falling apart. Girlfriend is looking at me like I'm crazy. I stop cutting my hair, start looking like a real crazy motherfucker. I started looking like a crazy MFer. And people were like, dude, you good? They would come drop the money off for the shop. And I was looking like just hair crazy, you know, put on a t-shirt with the neck. I'm like, what's up, man? Do you realize what's going on? And people just like, yo, dude, we don't want to hear that, you know? And so life for me in Babylon became very uncomfortable because I knew too much. What happened was I gave the barbershop away. I gave cars away. I gave all that I owned away. Who I was as Bishop was dying. And I said, I'm a philosopher. I am a spiritual leader. I am a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual teacher. That's what I am. And I knew I was because it's the only thing that made me happy. You can't talk to me about anything else. I don't want to talk to you about anything else. Let's talk about things that truly matter. Let's talk about agriculture companies and how we're eating ourselves to death. Let's talk about chemtrails. Let's talk about all of these matters. That's what truly matters. Why is everybody walking around like we're not getting sprayed like a farm? Animals in the zoo don't know that the zoo is not normal. Just because we're born there, it doesn't make it okay. And so I've awoken, and I realized I started understanding a lot of things. And I was just talking to people, regular people in my life, and they got tired of hearing me, and I didn't have an outlet. Guess what happened? One day, guess what happened? I never forget the update. Facebook got live. Woo! Facebook Live. Facebook Live. Bring. Just talking to a camera and saying stuff to a camera is no good for me. I have to talk to people. When you do Facebook Live, you can feel that you're talking to someone. I was in love. It was me, my fruit. I took out my bed in my room because I knew that was no good for my back, and my back was important because my spine carries information to my brain, and I want to be most conducive. Open up the windows, turn off the artificial lights, go into the darkness, all of this. Go into the darkness, all of this. And so I started talking to people about my journey. I said, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here, man. We got to get closer to the sun. We all belong in the tropics. All of humanity belong in the tropics. Why are we living so far out of the tropics, but we take all of our food and resources from that area? We are forcing ourselves to live in an unnatural state. And I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. We have to leave here. Global warming is coming. We're destroying. Why do you want to be a part of this bullshit that's happening, man? I don't even want to be a part of none of this. I'm not even living. If I do live that way, I'm already dead anyway. So shit, I'd rather die a good life. If I'm going to go out, this is what I was thinking at the time. And then I realized I was immortal and I won't die and I have everlasting life. And I became somebody that, you know, people start talking about, like, this dude is crazy. I didn't care. It wasn't Costa Rica at first. My plan was to go to South America.
He's been like losing his shit. And so I didn't say anything about talking about physical abuse. He must have just started trying to give his own iteration of the story and trying to prep people to say you was going to come on here and lie. And so this is Nature Boy. What he's going to say is that he was drunk. He says he was drunk. And then he also says that sometimes you started with him and that's the relationship y'all had. Now I'm going to play both these videos and then I'm going to allow you to respond. Okay. Here we go. So this is video number 1 from today. Here we go.
About 6 to 7 years ago, I put my hand on Maisha. I was drunk out my fucking mind. Alcohol, I don't drink no more. I drink a little wine every now and then to just relax. I don't get drunk anymore. Alcohol.
Okay, that's the first video. Now this is the second video.
Me off her, because I'm trying to fucking murder her.
Oh, let me run it back.
So passionate.
Let me run it back. Listen.
Fuck, I'm tired of her disrespecting me. I'm like, yo, I ain't got no control over my woman. And she came outside and I yoked up and it had been going on for a long time. Me and her have an intense relationship. I don't know if you have been in a passionate relationship where y'all just flame on each other. Like, it was one of those relationships. Like, it was like a fatal attraction type relationship. It was both of us. It wasn't just me hitting it. It was both of us attacking each other. To the point where when I was hitting her, a cop came out of nowhere. A cop pulls me off her because I'm trying to fucking
several times he tried to murder me.
Particular incidents?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And for
he was multiple attacks. He was drunk.
Okay. So this is not an isolated incident as he's trying to make it. He's attacked you viciously multiple times.
Several times.
Okay. All right. I'll let you respond now. I just had to get them questions out.
Oh man. Okay. So we were moving to Indiana. We both had got jobs in Indiana. My cousin worked at this spot. He worked at this spot, so we decided we was going to have it there. So we had our going away party there. His boys came out first. They all at the bar getting drunk, blase. So I'm sitting up at the DJ booth with my cousin. We sitting back because I know how he get. I don't like being around him when he get drunk. Right. We both drove in separate cars because I came after work. Right. And then he met me there. So I see him on the dance floor. He's pulling on other chicks. He's trying to holler and dance all on them at our going away party. So I'm like, all right. And he comes up the booth and he's trying to get me to come out. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to come down because you down there. He bites me. And he was like, come on. You know, he bit me on the slide because my cousin was right there. So I was like, get the fuck away. When he did that, I was just like, yo, when he leave, I'm leaving. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm out the door. So he was like on some fuck you shit and walks away, right? To go downstairs and get another chick face. As soon as I see him go, I bounces. I go outside. When I get outside, the police are outside. You know, they always watch the clubs. So I'm going to my car. You know, they trying to holler or whatever. But they don't know I'm trying to get away real quick. So I'm getting to my car. So he's following behind me. And I'm like, yo, keep him away from me. Right. You know what I'm saying? I jumps in my car and I go to my aunt's house. I get in my pajamas and I get ready to put my kids in the bed. I have an older son and daughter at the time. Right. I put my kids in the bed. We go in the bed. Fuck this shit. We'll talk about shit in the morning. Correct. Then there's coming outside my house and my aunt's house. I look out the window. He's stabbing my tires to my car. Then he goes to ringing the doorbell all crazy. Now my aunts are older women, so he's ding 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 ding, and I'm like, yo, you trying to get me kicked out tonight? Like, what are you doing? So I go to the door. He like, come outside. I'm like, nah, like you've been drinking. I know you. I don't do you with alcohol. Like, go ahead. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go where you going tonight. I don't care what bitch you lay up with tonight. I don't want none of it. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he's trying to pull me. He pulls me outside. So we come outside and I was holding onto the door. So when I held onto the door, I closed it. So he outside and he talking. I don't remember what he's saying because he's drunk. You know, he's talking. So, all right, well, I'm going to go back inside and I put my hand on the door. Every time I put my hand on the door to go inside, he would punch it down. After a couple, I was just like my hand hurt. Eligio, no, I don't put hands on him. We made a pact when we first started dating. You don't touch me, I don't touch you. I held up my end of the bargain because I don't like that shit. Like, don't put hands on me. I don't even, if I play wrestle, I don't even want it to seem like we about to get some. I don't do that. So, I remember standing on the edge of the rail talking so heated that he made my hand hurt. I told him I hate him. And I didn't want to be with him no more. I didn't see the first punch. But I do remember the second one because he almost knocked me over. Then he grabbed me and dragged me down the stairs. He got on top of me. He was beating my face in. And luckily, I don't know how, because this was in like Conyers, Georgia, in the kind of like countries are not that close together. Somebody or some neighbor saw something or heard something and called the police. I'm gonna die that night because there was no fucking way my aunts was gonna hear me. My kids couldn't hear me because my oldest son does music, so he had the headset on. He heard shit. Right. My daughter was like 2, ain't hearing nothing. So I just like, yo, he about to just kill me tonight because I can't do shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's coming through. I don't know how the police just pulled up in the yard. They saw him on top of me and they pulled him off of me. And when they pulled him off, I was so fucking heated. I swung at him. And that's when they grabbed me and they was about to arrest me. because they saw me swing at him. So now we both had a charge. But when they pulled me into the light and the female officer saw my face, her face, she looked like she was about to cry when she saw my face. And I was looking at her like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you looking at me like that? And she said, call an ambulance, right, to the other guy. And she was like, put him in the car. Like, and she took the cuffs off of me, like, no. And they put me in the ambulance, and I went to the hospital. That's the picture with me doing like this at the hospital, because my sister came to check on me from the hospital. Because I guess the police came back to the house, and they woke my aunts up and the children. They was telling them that I went to the hospital and I was attacked and everything. And then so my family got up in the uproar, like, what the fuck happened? Like, I didn't hear anything. And that's why that picture was up, if y'all ever seen that picture.
Right.
And that's what happened. And he did get arrested. And he spent, I think, maybe 2 or 3 nights in jail. And then he got out and he went to Indiana. He was looking at 20 years for that charge. The judge who was on the bench for over case was looking to be reelected. And so he was ready to throw the book at him because he wanted to look like he was really against domestic violence, I should say. He was against the violence, and that really would have looked good on his campaign. So he was trying to throw Eligio under the, especially from how my face looked and my eyes open, and he was taking plenty of pictures with the red eyes and everything. The police kept coming to my house taking pictures. So like each month as I was healing. So the case went on for a while. He eventually did get off, and how he got off was of me. At first I said I was going to have nothing to do. He's on his own. He got out how to get out of it because he figured out how to put himself in it. He don't listen to me. So here's his way out. And I started to feel bad near the end because we ended up, the case went on for almost like a year or so. And by then we had started seeing each other again. And I felt bad. And I said, his lawyer spoke to me and told me the only way he can get off is if I took some of the blame. And I wrote a letter to the judge saying that I provoked a fight. I poked a drunken bear, and when he responded, this is what happened to me. And that's how he got off. He got off with, he had to pay fines, which I paid. He had to do anger management classes and all that, and that's all he had to do to get off. He did that, I think, for maybe about a few months to a year, and and all that time that he was doing that, he didn't put hands on me. None time.
Okay.
Everything seemed to be like, okay, learned the lesson. You know what I'm saying? But
right. And so, I want to say this because, hold on, I'm blocking somebody. I'm cleaning the chat up because he's in here full effect with the trolls. But I want to say this, right? See, this story to me is positive because you're not the only woman who ever loved a man that you got him out of some shit clearly that you didn't have to.
I can't remember if he was coming home from doing some dirt, because he always doing some shit, or if we went out then. But I remember me I remember squatting down by the door with the door unlocked. And I remember I had looked out the window and saw he had the gun in his hand. And he was knocking on the door, telling me, open the door, open the door. He was trying to be nice. Open the fucking door. And I was just like, no. I remember being on my phone this is the only time I remember trying to call 911. And for some reason, I could not fucking get through. It was probably because I was so fucking nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know I was in my head really trying to think how to get out of this situation because I know him, and I know he can't control himself when he's drunk. I could easily get night if I do not play my cards right, or if I do not play chess instead of checkers. So I do remember at some point letting him in, and I was talking to him. I remember being on my knees, and he had the gun to my head, and I was talking to him, and I remember him saying, why the fuck you ain't open the door, bitch? And I was like, I'm sorry. I remember saying, I'm sorry. I forget what I said, but I know whatever I said was basically on some submissive shit, because a lot of times I didn't have that in me. And that's where he likes for you to be submissive. And so I talked to him really sweet. I know that. And, it's like, baby, give me the gun. Give me the gun. Like, I'm here, like, let him know I'm here with you. I'm here for you. I love you. I would never do anything, to hurt you or to harm you, that kind of shit. And I somehow got him to put the gun down. And to be honest, I didn't run or get away from him. I took him to Wendy's. I remember taking him and putting him in the car. He was drunk as shit. I put him in the car and I told him we're going to go get something to eat. And we went to Wendy's. And at this time, we used to love to eat out. And Wendy's, we used to call her that redheaded bitch. Remember that? And we used to go see that redheaded bitch and go pack up. We used to like the chicken sandwiches with lettuce and tomatoes and pickles and cheese on it. And I got you a few of those, some fries and a shake. What do they call those? I ain't had them shit in a long time. Frosty. That smoothie ice cream shit they get, Frosty, right? I got your ass a Frosty. Right. You was sitting there happy as hell, fucking that shit up in that bed. We rode back to the crib. We fell asleep sitting on the couch. We had a black leather couch that we used to watch True Blood from every fucking Sunday night. Facts. So we went and got on the couch and we pulled out the chairs. As a matter of fact, they did have the roommate there because that was couch. So in the recliner. And we fell asleep right there. When he woke up in the morning, he was like, what happened? I remember a little bit about last night happened, babe. And I told him what happened. Of course, he did the apologies and, the kiss. Oh, my God. I got to stop drinking. I can't be hurting my baby. Remember that?
That shit. I had a grown woman. You see her. She's on. Somebody like, oh, you need a grown woman to hear that pain. Maisha is 42 years old. On some G shit, she 42. She's on a haters page. She's on a hater page right now. Come on, man. What you want, sweetheart? What you want? I'm not for that shit. Number one, I just want to say that I'm hurt right now. Maisha, you up here, like, I'm really hurt.
I'm not going to let you gaslight her or anything.
No, I'm not gaslight. I'm only going to express my heart. Can I speak my heart?
Okay, I'm going to let you...
I'm hurt right now. Maisha, you up here, like, I'm really hurt.
I'm not going to let you gaslight her or anything.
No, I'm not gaslight. I'm only going to express my heart. Can I speak my heart?
Okay, I'm going to let you speak. If she's comfortable with
it, I
okay.
Speak my heart. Number one, I want to say I'm really hurt because you could just call me like, and these people are using this against me. You being up here, I love you so much, Maisha, and I know you love me too, not just our son. I just want to say to the public, I apologize to Maisha for putting my hands on her, like, and it's my fault. All of this shit is my fault. The reason why all this shit is my fault, I did this to myself. You feel me? Like, I love you, Maisha, and I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I did hurt you. And I never meant to, and I love you with all my heart. I never stop loving you, and it's not okay for me to ever put my hands on anyone. And this is what I deserve, to put my hands on another woman. I did put my hands on Nana, and I did, and I promised the universe I would never put my hands on another woman, and I did. And this is what I get, and this is my punishment, because I promised the universe after Maisha I would never do that again. Like I promised the universe I would never. I told the universe if you got me out of that time that I was supposed to do, put my hands on you, that I would never ever put my hands on another woman. You feel what I'm saying? So I lied, and because of that, this is what I get. I made a commitment with the universe and I lied, and for that, everything is being exposed because I can't control myself when I get angry. Like I'm not just gonna beat you up for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I'll be getting deep involved with this shit, and I know I hurt. You know what I'm saying, Maisha, and I'm sorry, like I really am, and I really wish I could turn back there in the time. She know what I went through when we were separated for those 3 weeks, and I was in Ohio and it was cold. I damn near died crying, you feel me? And then I had to go to court, and we had to go to court, and by the grace of, me praying to the universe, like, yo, please, if you get me out of this, I'll never do this shit again. And then I knew I made that covenant, you know what I'm saying, with the universe, Also, I made another covenant with the universe that I would never tell a woman that I would be monogamous. I made 2 covenants with the universe with Micheal, because Micheal taught me that I wasn't a monogamous man. I was a terrible boyfriend. I was a terrible husband to her. Like, she deserved way better. Like, if you give a woman your word, that's your bond. I was a terrible husband to her. Like, and that's what I learned. I told myself I'd never tell another woman again I'll be with just her. I was a terrible husband to her. Like, and that's what I learned. I told myself I'd never tell another woman again I'll be with just her.
This is the part in my story where Dr. Micheal Joseph Brown enters the story. However, I think he's been a big part of the story long before Micheal, maybe simultaneously after. He certainly did flee to Micheal Joseph Brown's house after he beat Micheal up so savagely, and he lived there until Micheal Joseph Brown sent him on his way, because I don't think he's openly gay, for one. But nevertheless, we've heard the saying, you don't pay a hooker to fuck you, you pay her to leave. And I think he gave Nature Boy a plane ticket and a backpack and sent him on his way. But you can be the judge of that. And here's a comment from Dr. Micheal Joseph Brown's abandoned Facebook from Emmanuel Stevens. Micheal Joseph Brown, PhD. Why are you sending the church's money to Nature Boy in Mexico? Why are you funding a homosexual cult that is allegedly knowingly spreading HIV to young men and women? Upon entering the United States, after he was deported from Costa Rica, why did Nature Boy run to you, and you and him had his entire cult in the dorm rooms of your seminary? Why are you sending $8,000 to $10,000 of the church's money to Nature Boy every month? Is he still your lover? What would Jesus do, Micheal Joseph Brown, PhD?
I know that he took you to some of the clubs, but did you ever see him interact with any of the LGBT community or, anything like that? Did you ever see anything that was kind of alarming to you in that, in that process?
It was probably like a couple of his homeboys. And they was doing the same thing he was in, so I never really paid no attention. So I was just happy to be in Atlanta, like, just get out of New York for a little bit. You feel me? I wasn't even paying attention to my brother, but I found out what he was into. I was like, shit, to each his own. I ain't a hater, but do your thing, play. You feel me? I wasn't trying to get to know nobody personally or none of that. Like, I was just happy to, be with my brother. You feel me?
Right. And I'm not really sure if you are aware or not, but have you ever met Mike Brown?
Yes, I did. I met him.
Oh, okay. So
I met Mike Brown. He brought him to the barbershop like a couple times, cut his hair. Yes.
Oh, so did you what was the status of their relationship, if you don't mind me asking?
I think they was really pretty close. From my standpoint, from outside looking at it, it was pretty tight, closer than me and him should have been. Like, me and my brother should have been tight, because that's my brother. But he got real close. But like I was saying before, there'll always probably be a perfectly stranger that, he'll adapt to, or I bet you he'll go to Mike Brown before he will for some advice to me. Leo, man, listen, I'm having a hard time, man. You wouldn't call me, he'll probably call them or somebody, one of his little stripper friends or me like that. Like,
okay. So, so you did kind of feel like there was something, well, no, what I'm asking is, did you feel like there was something more to their relationship than just a friendship?
Yeah, I really asked you, like, they like really kind of a little too close. They're in a relationship type shit. Like, that's what happened. That he was moving. Like, but me, again, on the outside looking in, it was like, hey, do your thing, man. Go ahead, do your thing. I ain't like,
Like, it was just you could kind of feel, right.
I'm over here observing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You heard?
Right. I get what you, absolutely. So,
but I did, like, in a relationship type shit, like, on some friendship, like, yeah, I think there was, like, a little bit.
Too close.
Close.
Yeah, okay.
Like, next, a little bit too close.
So, another question that I wanted to ask was, before your brother actually went into the porn business, did he actually talk to you about, this is what he's going to do, or, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it goes back to what I was just telling you. He didn't go to a perfect stranger before he rolled to me, so, I mean, I was never in the equation of me even like, nah, hell no. You know what I would have told him, like, come on, man, are you serious?
Right. So you most definitely.
I like females. Females straight go to college, try to pay their tuition. I get that, but you a whole nigga, like yo. All right, well, hey, listen, do your thing. Well, like, if he did even bother to even ask me about that shit, like, nah, never did. I didn't care though. Hey, he's grown. Everybody's grown. Like, yo, you make your own decisions. You just gotta live with your consequences.
Right. So, do you know how Mike Brown and your brother actually met? Was it at the barbershop?
Nah, way before then. Way before, like, you already know him. I don't know how, but you already know him.
Oh, so they were pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh.
He introduced him to me. Like, yo, this is my brother, da-da-da. It was like, yeah, what's going on, da-da-da. Like, short, yellow cat, little real light-skinned, real try to like a business oriented with the suitcase and suits and like it's like I ain't hating on nobody. I don't do those, but I'm just saying it was like I just thought they was a little bit too close.
I guess. Okay, so and I hate to kind of get into this, but how did it really make you feel internally that your brother was headed down this path in his life?
Come on, man. It's like fucking 100,000 thunderbolts hit my heart at the same time, like in this foul, because he's gonna do what he wanna do, and I think it really has something to do with me personally. I never really told my brother this. My brother really probably we don't talk at all really like that. But I just kind of think it's like when it happened, when we got split up and it happened.
Right. Okay, so
that's why that's the only thing I can come up with, like this. And then like
Kept the polygamy one.
Don't that make sense, OG? Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle. Either you want. When I found out they was putting poison in my food, the government was putting poison.
I'm leaving Ohio, going back to Atlanta for a couple of days. I'm going to be giving my car back to the bank. I'm giving them back their car. And then from there, I'm going to Florida. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be flying to Honduras one way. Now, as y'all know, I'm flying there. And I'm going to show y'all how I pack my bag to go. For all of y'all that's planning on really getting the fuck up out of here. Okay, cool. Now, what was, I bought a 60-liter bag because my whole life is in this one bag right here. All right? One bag. And matter of fact, I'm lying. 2 bags. Because this is going to be like my little carry-on. That's my regular bag. And this is my life in this bag right here. Okay? Then we got these little materials right here. For newcomers that just got in the room, I broke down 60-liter. Got the tent at the bottom, sleeping bag underneath the tent. Everything I need is in this bag right here, boo. And that's gonna be on top of the drink. And this is my other little bag. That's gonna have my laptop and stuff. Everything is complete. My life is completely in this bag. On Monday, I'm dropping off the car to the bank, letting the bank have that car. Watermelon, all kind of stuff, like real organic fruit from the earth, from the tropics. It's the Porterland. And what we doing is we building the thank you, Trujillo. Yeah. We're building a village, an eco-friendly village. It's gonna be living one with nature. It's gonna be a Porterland. This is gonna be a place where we can align ourselves to what you would call visit other realms on higher frequencies. How long is the bus ride from Guatemala to Honduras? Well, I believe it's like 8 to 10 hours, depending on where you get picked up from. Atlanta tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, Monday, and on Tuesday, I'm flying from Atlanta to Florida, and then from Tuesday to Thursday, I'll be in Tampa, and then I'm flying out. Shout out to Bay. He gonna be on the flight with me. We going to Honduras from there. You know what I'm saying? I was going to start at Guatemala, travel through Central America to South America, and then figured out where I wanted to be. And I was going to vlog about everything that I'm doing. You guys got to get out of there. This is the way you're supposed to live life. Boo, 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 boo. This email that comes to me on my Facebook, and it's like, yo, my brother has land in Honduras. That's what the email, and I'm like, okay, this lady, she keeps hitting me. Did you hit my brother? And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go check this guy. These beings hit me up. Dude, I'm coming with you. I'm like, what? I'm like, wait, let me explain this to you. I got an all-female following. It's me in relationships with women. I have a very connection to nature, feminine energy. I have a connection to women. You know, I have a beautiful connection with women. I love having them around me. I'm not even on a sexual tip. I just like to be around females. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool around females. I'm like one of those gorillas that like to be around a pack of females that I'm making love to. All of them are that's me. Or that's who I am. I'm just an alpha like that. That's just who I am. So I'm thinking, yeah, I got some girls coming. You know what I'm saying? But the only people that came was guys. It was like, what are all these hard legs? I call them hard legs. Like, what do you want? What do you want? They're like, you're not leaving without me. I'm like, what are you talking about? 3 guys pop out of nowhere. More than that, but the only guys that I took with me. And I was like, you know what? Y'all my warriors. But I'm telling you, I got women coming. Don't be in the way. Don't get mad when I got all these women here for me. This is what I'm thinking in my head, you know, because my following is a whole bunch of women, and we always interact, like on my Facebook. Like, my Facebook Live is me talking to a bunch of women, and they're just responding to me. They supported me the whole way, and it's just been beautiful. We get there, it's like, dude, I'm not staying here. His house is like, it's like a hole in the wall. Like, one thing about nature, boy, I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. It's nasty, creepy shit. I don't like living in nasty spaces. I don't like that. Wasn't living like that when I got there. I wasn't going to live in no nasty space. It's not how I am. I'm very clean, very neat. And I remember walking into his house. It was like his grandma's house. It was like all her old stuff knitted. It was like her old pictures. It was like one of these old creepy houses. I was like, dude, I'm not staying here. So what we wound up doing is we got a hotel. That $20,000 sure came to handy. It was a clean. It had internet. I was like, cool. I'm good now. I'm connected to the internet. I'm like, yo, you know, we're here. I was like excited. I took everybody on Facebook with me. We were in Honduras. We found the house. That was our thing. Find the house, get the house. Boom. Got the house. It was beautiful. I invited people to come. Open-heartedly, everybody come. Get you a tent. I got a big ass yard. We're right under an avocado tree. We got a mango tree right here. We got a river in the back. Come on, boy, was that a mistake. We just basically, was opening our doors to anybody that wanted to join us, and it was unorganized as hell, man. Hey man, you're not having it. I'm not having it either. Fuck them. Let's just come on and live reckless and just rebel, fuck it, and we just have fruit, and we'll sleep in a tent, we'll be in nature, and we'll be, pure. We were in the middle of the street, broad daylight, and we get robbed for everything. Laptops, everything, your phone, wallet, passports, everything. They took a truck of ours. They robbed us for everything, and I'm so glad they did. it showed us how corrupt Honduras is. Do not, I repeat again, do not move to Honduras. Fuck Honduras. And I say that because of the simple fact these motherfuckers are corrupt. Back, boom, as we're trying to get our passports back, they would not let us into Nicaragua because we didn't have a stamp. The original stamp and our original passports, we got robbed in your country. They tried to get us for every penny. We was up there all day trying to get another stamp. Then they made us go all the way back to Tegucigalpa from the border to get a stamp, some artificial stamps. And these people are all connected, man. The police are connected to the people. It's dumb, man. The government is connected to they just fucking, yo, we got to see it for what it was. And it was just, when we got out of Honduras, it was like a bat flying out of hell. Just we just like, get the fuck, they did not, in Nicaragua border, they like, yeah, we need $10 from everybody. This is how petty they were, $10. We're like, dollars, what does it matter if it's dollars? It's still equivalent. Like, we give you this and, you know, here's Nicaragua money, or here you go, we got the Nicaragua money. No, we need it in $10. It has to be dollars. What? Like, it was just crazy stuff at the borders. We were like, you know what? These border lines, they're all bullies. Who can tell you where you can go and travel? Think about that. Why are they're bullies. They're bullies with guns, man. And it's all about who's got the biggest gun. People, if they're listening, they have been beautiful to open up their home to us. And they have a beautiful land here. And we've been taking care of the land. We got 3 gardens that we just built here. The guy that built this house, he's from Canada, and he actually did it himself. Like, he did the architecture, he designed it. It's like this glass house, beautiful. And we don't use the house, but for a studio, we outside people. We like to be outside. We told them, we got our tents, we're outside. We use the house for, like, basically if we have a mill or we have a studio in here, we made, one of the rooms to a studio. We have actually one of the rooms we turned into a movie theater where we just have a projector and we watch movies off the projector screen on the wall. And, basically we take showers at the river. We try to stay pure as possible. We love to run through the rain naked. So the rainy season is beautiful. So we don't keep many people with us anymore because less is more. What we found is that no matter how you try to help somebody, if they don't want to help themselves, and so people have come, many people have come. They come, and but basically the owners of the property won't allow us to have more than about 11, 12 people at all. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that many people on their property. So out of respect for that, but it's been good for us because our vehicle can't hold but so many people. So we encourage people to make their own tribe, make their own family.
I'm going back to Canada mainly because of the safety of us. I don't want anybody getting hurt because I'm here. So I'm gonna go back there for now until I get things straightened out. And it's like, I came here to be free, and the beings that one didn't want any contact with. I didn't want any contact with them anymore. Like, they are still being possessive over me. Like,
so why did you leave in the first place?
We can't own.
Why did you leave? Why don't you tell them why you left in the first place? Did I call you like, hey, come join us, be here with us? Am I controlling or manipulating your mind?
I was gonna leave Canada even before I found nature. So
you actually tried to, and
I just felt like I belonged here. That's why I came here. Like, my heart just felt like this is my family, so that's why I came here. But I was gonna go. I had plans to leave the country even before, and then they tried to be possessive over me. So I got put on pills because I wanted to leave.
So basically, her family, she's saying that her family just basically put you on medication because you try to leave. Like, she tried to go to Hawaii before she got here.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I didn't know, but I did ask her before she got here, do you have crazy parents? She was like, well, they don't matter. I'll throw my phone away, because we had someone here else that was white that got snatched out of here before. And so there's another thing I want to address. It seems to be that you might not be able to join me if you're white and you actually have a divine heart and you actually are the immune system on this planet, because the immune system comes in all races, all forms, all shapes. And when I say immune system, I mean just want to live in harmony with nature, stop the destruction and the carbon footprint on this planet. Just being in harmony with nature. That's the culture of melanation. If you want to join Nature Boy, you're not allowed to join me anymore.
What I've come to the conclusion is that he has the dark triad. It's a combination of 3 personality traits, all of which, kind of overlap each other to a certain extent, but at the same time, all 3 traits just display an inner selfishness. Specifically, narcissism is one of the traits, which I'm sure you guys already knew. It is characterized by grandiosity, pride, egotism, and a lack of empathy. Now, the next one in the triad would be Machiavellianism, which is characterized by manipulation and exploitation of others, and an absence of morality, unemotional callousness, and a higher level of self-interest. And then psychopathy, characterized by continuous antisocial behaviors, impulsivity, selfishness, callous and unemotional traits, and remorselessness. And I think you all would agree that he, fits this diagnosis to a T. I'm better than Dr. Bishop. During my exceptionally deep dive down this rabbit hole, I actually discovered there is a demon by the name of Eligios, and he's part of a group of 72 demons, to be exact, that you summon through one of the 3 magical books of Solomon. Yes, King Solomon, you all. It's really, a dangerous place I got to here. Specifically, the Lesser Key of Solomon, which I'm to understand is like a spell book to evoke the demons of hell, and Eligios being one of them, a Grand Duke, in fact. But I'll read you more about him right now. Eligios, also known as Abagor or Elior, a great Duke of Hell, ruling 60 legions of demons. He discovers hidden things and knows the future of wars and how soldiers should meet. He also attracts the favor of lords, knights, and other important persons. He is depicted in the form of a goodly knight, carrying a lance, an ensign, and a scepter, a serpent to Aleister Crowley. I think that's somebody to do with the witchery industry. Anyway, alternatively, he is depicted as a ghostly specter, sometimes riding a semi-skeletal, y'all know I can barely read, semi-skeletal, sometimes winged horse, or the steed of Abagor. This is a minion of hell itself and was a gift from Beelzebub. It was created from the remains of one of the horses in the Garden of Eden.